Hello everybody, my name is Hypixel, and today I will be giving you tips for new Bedwars players who are new to playing the game. So, if you're new to Hypixel Bedwars, then listen up, because these are some tips for you that can help you be a good player. Now, tip number 1 is do not play solos or doubles first. So basically what I mean by saying this is do not play solos or doubles, because that is basically like a hot spot for very good players. What I recommend is playing 3v3s or 4v4v4v4s, because that has a lot of newer players who are in your same skill set. So basically just play 4v4v4v4 or 3v3v3s, and you'll basically just get a basic vibe of the game. Then when you get kind of intermediate, then you should start playing solos and doubles, but you should start off by playing some of the more team-oriented games, because so a lot more newer players play with you in 3v3s and 4v4s. So just play that first and you'll get a good vibe of the game, and you'll get better eventually to the point to where you could play solos and doubles. Now, tip number 2 is communicate with your teammates. I cannot stress this enough. Communicating by meaning like just say if you're defending, if you're attacking, just say something. Say if can one person stay the island while I go get emeralds, and you can basically just be set for the entire game. It changes your whole game because you're telling your teammates what you're doing. So just communicate with your teammates, even if they're randoms. Hey guys, I'm going to give you a mini tip here, and it is do not put your items inside the team chest. I also cannot stress this enough, because sometimes your teammates grab those items from your team chest, and basically what they do is they just spend it on whatever they want. So basically what you should do is, instead of putting your items that you don't want to lose inside your team chest, put it in your ender chest, because basically it will keep your items there, of course, and it will basically just save your items for the future if you want to spend them on anything. So just do not do it. Do not put it in your team chest, because your teammates can be greedy and get something that you do not want. Now, you can put it in your team chest if you have any items that you do not want. Actually, I kind of do recommend putting items you do not want into your team chest in case anybody else wants them. But if they're valuable items that you just got, like emeralds, then do not put them inside the team chest. Put them in your ender chest. The ender chest is probably one of the best things you could use to just preserve your items. Alright, next tip is be defensive for the first couple of games that you play, because if you're offensive is basically rushing players, rushing beds and killing players is basically all offensive. What you should do is basically be defensive and stay at your own bed, defend your bed, and basically just, defend your bed. But you can go offensive if you think you're ready, but it may cost you the entire game sometimes, and it's kind of risky, especially if you're new to PvP in general. So play defensive sometimes. It's really worth it. You can basically help your whole entire team win the game, because there's not that much of defensive players in Bedwars, especially at randoms. So just be defensive for the first couple of games you play. Get used to PvP, because sometimes people will come to your bed and you have to kill them. So speaking of PvP, train your clicking. Do not just do normal clicking. Now, what I mean by that is normal clicking is basically where you just, I don't know if you care that, but I'm just doing that with my mouse. Try not to do that. I don't know if you're comfortable. Just do whatever you're comfortable with clicking. Now, there's a thing in Minecraft PvP world called CPS, that is clicks per second. And basically, if you normal click, it gives you around 5 clicks per second. Now, the pros of that is basically that you could probably juke people better. But if you do probably like around 5 clicks per second. It'll probably be slower PvP. So I recommend doing some of the easier clicks if you're new to PvP, like Jitterclicking, maybe even butterfly clicking. That gives you around like 10 to 15 clicks per second. So just do different clicks sometimes and practice Jitterclicking. I'll leave you some tutorials of Jitterclicking in the description. Just look in the description and you'll see some tutorials of Jitterclicking and butterfly clicking. And yeah. Alright, so now I'm going to be talking defensive now. So if you're defending your bed, this is one of the most underrated bed defenses, but basically use blast-proof glass. Lately, players have been using a lot of TNT. Now, what TNT does is basically if you place it down, then basically it just creates an explosion like normal TNT. So what you should do is cover your bed up with blast-proof glass. It's in the name, blast-proof glass. So then the TNT can't go through. And yeah. But also try to hide the glass just to give the person attacking a big surprise. So yeah. Now here's the thing that I see in so many Bedwars randoms games that I hate that people do, and it's they use blast-proof TNT like they should be, but they put it as the first layer. So basically their bed is naked, but then they put blast-proof TNT as the first layer. This is one of the most infuriating things to some people, because okay, imagine this: you have wool over the glass-proof TNT. So basically what the person above you, they place TNT, it breaks the wool, they realize that there's glass. So basically if there was TNT, if there was like maybe like the first layer is wood and then above the wood is the glass-proof TNT, they would run away. But if there is the first layer is glass-proof glass, then basically they could jump down, easily break the glass, and then break the bed. So just put a layer of something before placing the blast-proof glass, because they can easily break the glass and get to the bed. So yeah, and also try to not let other players do this mistake. It's one of the most infuriating things. Alright, next up is about resource management. Alright, so let's first start off with diamonds. There's 3 things that you need to focus on that kind of infuriates me that people do, but try to focus on upgrades, these specific upgrades: sharpened swords, reinforced armor, and it's a trap. Because basically those are like going to save your whole entire game. Sharpened swords gives you sharpness on your swords. Reinforced armor puts protection on your armor, and it's a trap notifies your team when basically a player is at your island. So I see a lot of players get Iron Forge, even Dragon Buff. Those are two of the worst upgrades you should get, especially if your bed is not broken. If your bed is not broken, I do not really care if you get Iron Forge. Just do your own thing if your bed is broken. But basically, if you get, when your bed is still there and you get basically like Iron Forge, haste, maniac miner, then that is basically like a waste of diamonds. You should get that later game. But yeah, once your bed is broken, you can do whatever you want. Also try to not get dragon buff. All it really does is give you another dragon for a late game, and 90% of the time you won't go that far into the game. So just do not get dragon buff, and just when your bed is still there, just get those 3: reinforced armor, sharpened swords, and it's a trap, and you'll be set for the game. Next up on resource management is emeralds. Okay, I have a couple stuff to say about emeralds. So if your bed is still there, you have the option of getting around 8 emeralds to basically put obsidian over your bed. Now here's the thing, if you want to put obsidian over your bed, here's a tip, a tiny tip that you could do. Do not, if you have 4 emeralds to get a couple of obsidian, do not get the 4 emeralds and then just get the obsidian immediately and then go off. What you should do is basically take the 4 emeralds, put it in your ender chest, and then go off getting the emeralds. Because say you get the obsidian, you put it in your ender chest, you don't want to waste it, and you go out and you're trying to get the emeralds, the rest of the emeralds for the rest of the obsidian, and someone breaks your bed. That is basically a waste of emeralds. You just wasted 4 emeralds on something that you could have just kept and then waited until you got enough to spend the obsidian. So yeah, just save those emeralds. Just save those emeralds until you have enough to get enough obsidian to cover your bed. Alright? Also on emeralds is, do not get a diamond sword when your bed isn't broken. I cannot stress this enough. It annoys me, but do not get a diamond sword, especially if you're new, when your bed is not broken. Because that is kind of a waste of emeralds. Imagine if you got a diamond sword and someone kills you. That is basically just a waste of 4 emeralds. Like, come on. You could save that for if your bed was destroyed. Maybe, like, invis pots. Any other thing than a diamond sword. Do not get diamond swords if your bed is not broken, because you are wasting 4 emeralds of your life. Come on. Alright, let's say some tips of when your bed is broken. Here is my best strategy. What you should do is basically, if you're basically getting, like, if you were the first team that is out when your bed is broken, then stay at your island and make sure your team does not go that far from you. Because basically, that is kind of risky. If someone broke your bed and there was 3 more teams left, 12 players could basically kill you at that moment. So what you should do is huddle down at your island with your teammates. Kill any players that come by. Try to not let them come towards you. And just wait until basically another team or 2 gets their bed destroyed. Then you should probably start going to middle and getting, like, diamond armor, diamond swords, all that jazz. Say if you're like one of the last teams that got their bed destroyed, then what you should do is immediately go to middle and get invis pots, get a jump boost pot, and get a ender pearl, diamond armor, and a diamond sword, and just rush the team with some golems and stuff, and basically just kill them. I know that might sound risky, but just do it, okay? Just risk it. Especially if your other teammates are in with your plan. That other team might be getting cocky if all the other teams are out and you're the last one. So they might hunker down at their island and basically they'll either do 2 things. They'll either go towards you, which is probably harder to counter and maybe easier to get to their island and destroy their bed and kill them. But if they stay at their island, make sure to get an ender pearl, make sure to get golems, and just kill them with your teammates. Do not go alone. Alright, so this is the final tip, and is on rushers. So there was a lot of rushers on this 4v4v4v4 map called Lectus Arena. Now Lectus Arena is very, very kind of crammed in. So basically there would be a lot of rushers. So keep an eye on this map. And yeah, so basically if there's a team rushing towards you, then just go and kill them as fast as you can. Just there's different ways to kill them. Just fend them off, or maybe even get their bed if you're feeling risky. But if there's a team that's rushing you, get your bed defended immediately, especially with blast proof glass, because they usually use TNT. But also try to counter them as the most you can, and try to get their team out, or try to wait until their team gets out because they're focused on you. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to see another video on tips for intermediate players, basically people who are 20 stars and up, and teaching you about solos and rushing and stuff, then make sure to like and subscribe and turn on notifications, and I will get that video out as soon as possible. Thank you. Bye.